saved my favorite recipe for last. This is a roasted broccolini salad with lemon, apricot, and kale. And when I tell you that I had to stop myself from eating the entire portion in one sitting by myself because it is so good. It is the kind of recipe that I wish I knew about when I was a kid and I hated eating vegetables, quote unquote, because I thought vegetables were kind of bland and boring, and this will just knock all of those assumptions out of the water. This is the most delicious way that I can think of to eat broccoli or broccolini. You can use broccoli or broccolini for this recipe. I roast it first and then I toss it together in a salad with some marinated kale, some sweet and chewy apricots, crunchy almonds, and I toss it all together with a maple mustard dressing that is just a tiny bit smoky and super easy to make. To make a nice creamy dressing, we're going to start with some raw cashews. If you didn't have time to soak them, you can just pour hot water over them and let them sit for a few minutes until they are softened, or you can just pour water on them and let them sit overnight. Either way, once they are soaked, they will be a lot easier to blend and it will guarantee that you have a super smooth and creamy dressing. I'm going to add vinegar, maple syrup, Dijon mustard, and some salt, and also a little bit of smoked paprika. This is going to be just a little kind of whisper of smokiness in the background. I'll add some water to thin it out and blend this until it is creamy smooth. Then I add about a third of the dressing to the kale and to the broccoli, and I'm going to toss all this together, and you have this really great combination of the warm roasted broccoli, the marinated kale, and then you have a sweet chewiness from the apricots. You have a little bit of freshness and zing from the finely diced red onion, and a great crunch from the thinly sliced almonds. Then I will finish this with some more dressing. This dressing is so good. I could literally eat it with a spoon. Also happens to be a really great dip for potatoes, roasted potatoes, just saying. One of my favorite parts about this salad is actually the topping. And I know a lot of times toppings seem like garnish, which seems optional, but here the lemon zest is pretty key. I would not skip it if I were you. I like to sprinkle it on top as well as a few extra almonds just because it looks pretty. That part is totally optional. And some black pepper kind of gives this a restaurant style feel. Now for this salad, you could pair it with the Gruner that I mentioned earlier, but Kind of Wild also makes a really unique Sauvignon Blanc. So if you're a Sauvignon Blanc lover, again, I think this would be a really cool option for you to try because it's a little bit different. It's from Chile and it is light and crisp and refreshing, everything that we love about Sauvignon Blanc, and it still definitely has those zesty citrusy notes, but instead of being super tropical, it has more of a peachy and floral note to it. So you're gonna taste fresh peach, and on the nose you'll get some jasmine, some mandarin blossom. This would also be a good one to pair with the summer rolls that I showed you earlier. And honestly, if you're just looking for a very kind of crowd pleasing, easy drinking, light, crisp, refreshing white wine,